TSI Harley-Davidson for Michael Bennett, car number 16.
Michael Scorzelli will be in car number 18.
Car number 01 will be Jim Mavlouganes, the Extra Mart convenience store car.
Then it will be the defending champion, Adam Gray at 97. Last week's winner, Jay Stewart in the 42. Mark Hines, Kyle Casagrande, Josh Wood, and Tom Fearn will be starting last.
The field is under green, and J.J. Hill wastes no time at all. Inside lane looks racy for the 4th spot. Down the back straightaway, Scott Cook is in trouble. Botticello literally behind him, and Cook's car set stranded underneath the Extra Mart billboard as the Scorzelli machine is spun around, and there is a third component. Sizzler
Jay
weekend.
Stewart.
Yes,
The
winner.
professor.
So
the professor got expelled from class right there.
He sure did. 3 strong competitors involved in the mix-up. Scott Cook's car literally was standing on its nose, and the Botticello car was wedged beneath it, and it carried it. If you look at that black mark from about the Budweiser sign all the way down to the Extra Mart sign in turn number 3. Here's the perfect segue, Matt. Speaking of Extra Mart, remember, Extra Mart, Extra D, extra distance, 60 laps for the late models, and a lot of extra cash next Friday night here, presented by Extra Mart Convenience Stores. There's an Extra Mart Convenience Store conveniently located near you, and Matt loves them. Why, Matt?
Because yesterday and the first of every month, you go to your Extra Mart, you get a free coffee. So there is nothing like that. We're going to get some free information right now. Tony Sutton is standing by.
Jay Stewart got the least damage on that one. The 42 in here, they were checking to make sure the fenders were not rubbing against the wheels. We'll get down here and give you a shout back on the 28 to see exactly what's going on, but you were right, Ben. That car was almost up to the differential on the car that was in front of him.
Sure was. It was a tough break. Botticello last week had a strong race car as well, and unfortunately just didn't have much luck at all. The big kahuna in the traditional red Botticello cars. 1 lap is up on the board in this 30-lap event.
Boy, the sparks were really flying off the Scott Cook car.
Sure was.
Scott and Jim Cook, a 2-man operation, getting that car. They just made it here just in time for the feature on opening weekend. Let's go back down to Tony.
On the hood was pushed up and bent the mounting spurs that come out that the pins go into, but there's not much damage other than the fact that you can see the bumper marks all the way up to the center section of the hood. As Dennis Botticello sits almost patiently, this guy's been doing this for a couple of weeks now, waiting for his crew to get the car taped back up so he can get back out on the racetrack. Dennis Botticello, always a competitor, been doing this for a long time, and he likes to put on a show. Let's see if he can run back to the front. Back to you.
Well, there's no question about it. He is a competitor that knows how to get the job done, usually with that toothpick in between his teeth. He's got kind of a gritty, kind of a John Wayne type of approach to the racing business. Wouldn't you say, Matt?
Yeah, stress is not a word that you associate with Dennis Botticello. He's usually a pretty serene guy, but I think maybe he even had his heart pound a little when he was behind Scott Cook, and that 99 car started giving off all those sparks.
Well, let's see what's going to happen now as the field doubles up. J.J. Hill out of Stafford Springs, Connecticut, always very strong and consistent. Gambacorta to the outside of the front row. Cory Casagrande had a tough day last weekend. He's in the 3rd spot. Michael Bennett comes back to the late models. They changed the number. A lot of family history that surrounds the number 16. It's a family operation. We'll keep our eyes on him. Mavlouganes was strong a week ago. Peterson was racy as well. And never count out the big dog, and that is Adam Gray with the number 97. Here is the green. We are back up to speed, and it is Hill, the leader of the band, as he plays a tune down in turn 2.
A great getaway for Hill. Gambacorta trying to stay with him. Great side-by-side battle between Casagrande on the inside and Kevin Gambacorta on the outside, and wanting a piece of the action is Michael Bennett.
Bennett now stuck in the high lane. All of a sudden, here comes Mavlouganes. The Extra Mart car looks racy to the inside. It is Mavlouganes up to 3. Who is the tail that wags a dog here? All of a sudden, it is Adam Gray. He was not happy with a podium finish. He likes to win, and he now moves into the 4th position. All of a sudden, there's Tommy Fearn. Remember, he had the car that had literally the side peeled off of it. Yellow flag is out.
There's problems. Botticello in turn 1. So it is a rough and frustrating night for the Big Kahuna so far. Tommy Fearn started the night last and has worked up into a contending position in car number 92.
And he's done it in 1 mile, 2 circuits. So that's pretty impressive, starting 15th on the grid. The other big mover is Adam Gray, started 10th and is up to the 4th spot.
So if you're going to get behind somebody who's going to open up some holes, Adam Gray is that man, as he was able to grab onto the coattails of Adam Gray and get into the top 5. Jim Mavlouganes ran a great race on opening weekend.
Yes, he did.
And he wants to win today, and I don't think he wants anything better than to win 1 week from tonight, a 60-lap extra distance race sponsored by Extramart. Remember, Extramart has been Jim Mavlouganes' primary sponsor for the past 24 years.
Sure has, and they've had a great working relationship. Fact is that Jim was thinking about not running this season, but it was because of the folks at Extramart and their loyalty to Jim that they said, we'd love to see you run as many races as you can, and he has done just that.
Rookie competitor Josh Wood, I believe that is him, headed onto pit road in car number 51.
Josh started in the 14th position with the number 51 car, came on late in the first late model feature event, and they're making a wedge adjustment in that race car. Putting 1, 2, turns in the left rear. In the paddock area tonight, things were kind of moved around just a bit, and there was a scientific reason for it in the pit area that they refer to as the Wheel and Modified Tour area. When they come to Stafford, Bob Phil lined up all of the teams that he works on, the late models and the limited late models, and parked them all together, stating the fact that it would make it easier for him to work with those teams. So it was a little different scenario, and that sometimes sets the savvy or the psyche with a lot of people. You know, a lot of people are superstitious and say, I have to park where I've parked for years. You know how that is, Matt.
Or they're having some bad luck and they want a new parking spot.
That's right.
And they go to some completely different location. And sometimes it works.
It does.
We've seen it happen. J.J. Hill is one of those guys. He's either in the penthouse or in the Death Valley. He's had some great runs or some tough nights. He's won a 100-lap race at Stafford, probably the best moment of his Stafford career. So he has gotten off to a great start in car number 41, and I like that kind of look. Not Carolina blue exactly, but a pretty sharp-looking car.
Yep, certainly is. And, of course, he is one of those competitors that's done very well for himself. An independent runner, not heavily financed by any stretch of the imagination. A family operation. As you head in the paddock area, you'll discover that everybody is involved in the family, very similar to the Bennett family operation, that it is literally a lot of hometown spirit for a lot of these competitors, especially in our late model division. The Casagrande family, perfect example of all of that. And as we said before, a lot of these teams, the local kids that have done good, came up through the ranks. They have a following, and they've matured. They've become dads in their own right.
J.J. Hill, his dad, Jack Hill, has been a security director at Stafford Speedway for many years.
Nice guy. And looks like we are about ready with the final preparation of the cleanup. Family Ford of Enfield vehicle. If you're in the market for a newer used one, tell them you heard about it right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. So Cory Casagrande moves to the outside of J.J. Hill in the rivalry of Stafford as it continues. Row number 2, Jim Mavlouganes and Adam Gray, defending series champion. Gambacorta, Tommy Fearn, Jimmy Peterson, Michael Bennett, and then the Kyle Casagrande car started back in the 13th spot and is up among the top positions here. And there is the green. And
Look at
Casagrande,
Cory.
what a jump.
Wow, he looked like an astronaut coming off the line. Now trying to play catch-up is Adam Gray.
Adam Gray muscles his way into second. Fearn is there. They almost touch. Here comes Gray. Wheel down low. Underneath Casagrande. Little shimmy, shimmy, shake. At the line, still Casagrande.
Boy, one of the greatest restarts we have seen on the outside, pulled off by Cory Casagrande, but now he gives up a crevice on the bottom. Adam Gray trying to scoot his way underneath the one car.
Off the turn. Inch by inch, a brand new leader emerges. 5 laps in, defending series champion Adam Gray moves to the front of the field. Fearn up to second. Casagrande back to 3. Hill in the 4th spot, Matt, and Mavlouganes has got 5.
And right behind him is Kevin Gambacorta, followed by Jim Peterson and Jay Stuart. Remember, he was involved in problems early. He has maneuvered his way into the top 8.
Challenge for 3rd. Here comes Hill again. He pressures Casagrande, can't do it. Off the turn, Casagrande still holds on with the 1 car in the 3rd spot. Hill now pulls it back in the line.
So Hill, a patient 4th. Battle between Mavlouganes and Gambacorta. Gambacorta almost was able to croquet his way underneath Mavlouganes. As they blur their way off the corner, Gambacorta is on the verge of picking up a position and taking Jim Peterson with him.
Peterson follows him through. Now Stuart, who won a week ago on Sunday, he now tries to follow another veteran through, and that's Jimmy Peterson. Trouble now.
Around Gambacorta.
Gambacorta goes spinning like a top.
Boy, Josh Wood just missed him.
And
he missed him by about the length of a molecule.
As Gambacorta's car sets underneath the Napa Auto Care Center sign in turn number 2. Remember, our program brought to you in part by your friends at Napa. For Napa know-how, check your local Napa Auto Parts store. We welcome our friends from Palmer and from South Windsor at your local Napa Auto Parts stores.
43 Napa stores participating in sponsorship this year at Stafford, and each week we're going to highlight a couple of them. And tonight it's Napa of Palmer and Napa of Napa of South Windsor, which is very close to where I'm located on John Fitch Boulevard. If you want to get on 291, you can't miss it.
That's right. Michael Bennett is down on pit road. Bennett on the last 2 restarts had a car that seemed to hook up on the outside. Now look at Jim Mavlouganes is coming in.
Wow.
This is not a scheduled stop for either one of these cars. Tony Sutton is down there. Let's see if he has any information for us. Tony?
Hi, Ben. It's Kelly. I'm just getting a report from the crew right now. What happened?
Excuse me?
What are you coming for? What are you coming for?
He's a little bit loose in the center. We're trying to get tire pressures down, close up the stagger a little bit, see if we can get him some bite.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's Kelly. She is checking in with the Michael Bennett operation. And AJ checking in there on the story on Michael Bennett.
It still is early enough in the race to go and pit, make adjustments, and then come charging to the front. 8 of 30 laps are down the board. This is a classic battle. 2 heavyweights, a battle of the Titans between Adam Gray and Tommy Fearn. And this encounter was won by Adam Gray.
This could be the battle of 2014 for the championship title. That's how close and how competitive these 2 guys are. Casagrande still on the podium. Peterson starting to come on. Here comes Stuart back up to life. Gambacorta still struggles as he drops further back in the field.
Boy, Jim Peterson doing a great job as he tried to Jenny Craig his way underneath the 1 of Casagrande. They Tasmanian devil their way off the 4th turn, and the best battle on the track is between Cory Casagrande running 3rd, Peterson 4th, and Jay Stuart in the top 5.
Look a little further back in the field. Car number 51 is coming back to life. That, of course, is Josh Wood. He is a rookie And he now moves into the 7th spot as he works his way underneath Kyle Casagrande. And now here comes Scorzelli also trying to thread the needle through traffic, and Mavlouganes is back in the hunt in this one.
Boy, we've seen a lot of great comebacks in this race. Stuart has made one. Josh Wood has been flawless as he climbed back into 7th, 1 spot ahead of Kyle Casagrande. It is a fireball their way into turn number 1. Adam Gray has opened up some real estate between he and Tom Fearn.
No question about it. Look at Peterson working over Cory Casagrande to try to take over that 3rd spot. It just doesn't happen. Adam Gray showing why he's the defending champion, out in front like days of old. He is a rocket as the leader of the field. 13, just 2 laps shy of the halfway marker. Long way to go yet in this event. And now we're seeing Jay Stuart starting to close up the gap on Jimmy Peterson. Remember, Stuart was in a jingle earlier, but that doesn't seem to stop him now.
No, Stuart is wrapped around that 17 car like a boa constrictor. Now he lurches a little bit off the pace, and Peterson is going after Cory Casagrande again, as that battle will reheat between Casagrande and Peterson.
This time, when they cross the stripe, half of the event is over. 15 circuits complete. Gray is your leader. Fearn is still 2nd. Casagrande is 3rd. Peterson in the 4th spot. 5th position is Stuart. 6th spot, early leader Hill. 7th spot is Joshua Wood. 8th spot is Kyle Casagrande, Mavlouganes, and Gambacorta. That's your top 10. Half of the race is over. Second half is usually the best.
Adam Gray has had the fastest lap compiled in this race so far, as he is leading by about the length of a cow pasture over the 92 of Tommy Fearn. Last week we didn't get to see the real Tommy Fearn as he was involved in an opening lap fracas. We are seeing the genuine Fearn tonight as he tries to track down Adam Gray.
Look a little further back in the field. A good battle shaping up between the 7 car of Kyle Casagrande, the number 01 machine, also right there for Mavlouganes. He makes a little contact with a wall. Black flag is being given for the 99 of Scott Cook.
Boy, that has so much tape on it. It should be in the next Mummy movie, as it will limp off the track. Plenty of room given to our front runners, Adam Gray and Tom Fearn. Casagrande in 4th, and it looks like Stuart is coming to life again in car number 42. And once again, he is mounting a challenge against Jim Peterson.
Jimmy Peterson's car is starting to loosen up. And if you know Peterson, he likes a loose race car. He gets the most out of a car that he can feel by the seat of his pants. He'll tell you that. And that's what's happening now. 19 when they cross the stripe, 20 laps complete, 10 to go.
The drama is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Casagrande leading that brigade, but Peterson not far away. Peterson almost poked his nostrils underneath the Casagrande car, so just when we thought that Peterson was losing something, he got a little bit of a resurgence.
Sure did, as now Peterson still working over Casagrande. We're down to the countdown. Less than 9, it'll all be history.
Big lead, Adam Gray. Big advantage for 2nd for Tommy Fearn. And then the fun begins. A 3-way battle for the podium between Casagrande, Peterson, and Stuart. Then we go back a ways to J.J. Hill and Josh Wood. It looked like he was in trouble a couple of times tonight, but he didn't surrender. He has a pretty good position. Gambacorta is right there, but nobody right now has an answer for Adam Gray. And we were saying that all of 2013.
Less than 8 circuits remain. Gray, a dominant car up front. Fearn, convincing in 2nd. 3rd is still the hot spot. Casagrande being hunted down by one of the best in the late model division, Jimmy Peterson and Jay Stuart. 2 of the old dogs, as they are all over the kid from Stafford. As they come back to the line, now it looks like Stuart almost had Peterson.
Yeah, the old dogs are growling as Peterson had to hold off Stuart. Once again, the best way to play defense is to play some offense. Here comes Stuart. Bold move to the bottom as he tries to torpedo his way underneath Peterson.
Stuart picks up the spot. Back to the stripe they come. It is Stuart with car number 42 up to the 4th position. Peters forced back to 5. Casagrande. Cory still holding on. The countdown continues as Gray way out in front. Now a little further back in the field. We've got some side-by-side racing between Mavlouganes and J.J. Hill.
And it looks like Mavlouganes has the leverage. That is for 7th place. And Mavlouganes is there in the top 7. Hill trying to pay it back. Battle for the podium between Casagrande and Stuart. It looked like on lap number 3, Ben, that Stuart was in danger of finishing last. Here comes Stuart, almost getting under the way, jackknifing his way underneath Casagrande.
Stuart in the Arbitel convenience store car gets a little bit loose now. That costs him from being on the podium, but they head down to the stripe. 2 circuits to go. Off the turn, still a dogfight battle, raging for that 3rd spot. And still Casagrande doing a masterful job. Here comes Stuart again, Matt.
Stuart looked like he had position as he tries to catapult his way underneath Casagrande. Casagrande gives him no room on the bottom. Now they go on the backstretch. White flag is out. It could be coronation time for Adam Gray.
Down the back straightaway. Adam Gray picks up where he left off. Defending series champion, podium finisher, all last season long. It is Adam Gray to take down the win. Tommy Fearn to finish in 2nd. Here's the barn burner for 3rd. Cory Casagrande for 3rd. Jay Stewart for 4th. Peterson for 5. And rounding out the top 10, Kevin Gambacorta over Jim Mavlouganes, J.J. Hill, Kyle Casagrande, and Joshua Wood.
Then it was Mike Sorzelli in 11th. Michael Bennett has to settle for 12th. Mark Heim in 13th. Scott Cook in 14th. And Dennis Botticello only survived 3 laps before he had to leave after 2 incidences, 1 in the backstretch and 1 in turn number 1. Adam Gray was 2nd on Sizzler Sunday, and he follows that up with a victory. And the 2 guys who I think are going to go neck and neck for the championship this year, Adam Gray and Tom Fearn, up to their old tricks. Cory Casagrande, the guys who have been chasing him, Jay Stewart, Jim Peterson, experienced guys. Cory in only his 2nd year, and he held off 2 of the best fender drivers in Stafford history.
You know, there's no question about that. Showing well. Remember, he had a tough start on the Sizzler weekend in the late models, but he came back tonight, and he got the job done. Into victory lane like days of old, our defending series winner, as we go trackside to meet our top 3 podium finishers in the late models.
Well, Adam Gray unbuckling all the safety gear, getting out of his number 97. Something he's done a couple of times last year, but he's starting off 2014 on Friday night by demonstrating his ability to put this 97 out in the front. Cap comes on. Adam Gray takes off the shoulder straps and the Hines device. And ladies and gentlemen, Adam Gray out of the 97, and that absolutely contagious smile once again on your face. What a tremendous performance.
Yeah, I mean, we got lucky on a couple of them restarts there, and it put us in the right position. I can't thank my sponsors enough. Meadows Motor Car, Leon's Auto Repair, Holly's Auto Body and Repair, Joe Ham, Hardwick Auto Salvage, OJS Construction. Got a couple new guys this year, Hot Tables, and starting Monday, Napper from Belchertown come on board with us this year.
Adam, congratulations on the win. A great way to start the Friday night season off.
Thank you very much.
Well, Tom, you drove that car hard. It's easy for me to say, right? But he just had such a lead on you.
Yeah, no, hey, without King Ward and Safeco Foam, we couldn't have had the 2nd place finish. A little bit better than our Sizzler performance, but hey, I got to thank the guys on the crew, my wife, and all the friends and family, and all your race fans that came out here tonight. I know there's not a lot of you, but thanks for coming out. And hey, we'll be up here again hopefully next week, and maybe we can better it by one. But Adam had a great car tonight, and hats off to those guys.
Tom Fearn, congratulations. Well, you know, you got to build a faster race. No, I'm only kidding. You have a fast race car, and third place is very respectable to start off the year against these guys that have been really, really fast for years and years here. Congratulations on third.
Yeah, we had an okay car tonight. We were pretty tight during the race, just like we were all night actually, and you know, just kind of let these guys run away, and I had to fend off Jay and Jim for a little bit, and you know, it was fun out there. You know, my Uncle Dean, I got to thank him. He got me down when I needed to, and we were able to stay in line after starting on the outside twice. And I just got to thank all my parents, my sponsors, Shark Cycle, Casagrande Builders, all my other sponsors, and my whole crew for coming out tonight.
Great performance, third place. Great way to kick off the year.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps it up down here in Victory Lane. We'll send it back upstairs.
Okay, something new that we are doing this year. We are honoring the people who have been longtime supporters and longtime fans of Stafford Motor Speedway. The season ticket fan of the night will be awarded every Friday night. This year we have a very special guy to open it with us, and the man who will be making the presentation and interviewing our fan of the night is Connor Sullivan.
Evening, as is Michael Jones from Stores, as trying him to stand up. There we go. Come on over here. Got a Stafford prize pack.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep. How long have you been coming to Stafford?
My brother raced 30 years ago. Everett Manning, Wheeling, I know them all. I've been here for 30 years.
30-year veteran here, Michael Jones. So congratulations to you. And again, guys, we'll be doing this every week. If you're a season ticket holder, you are eligible. So we'll send it back up to the tower.
Car number 76, Rich Hammann in the 28, Wesley Prucker in car number 22 did not make, there he is at the rear of the field.
Field is under green, out in front, the old warhorse. Moving away, Nick Salva on a mission. He's up to the third spot. Menditto is right there with him. Dulac is in trouble off turn number 4.
Boy, they bounce around like balls in a lottery jar. Salva making contact with Joey Ferrigno on the grass.
Salva and Ferrigno go sliding through the center of the infield. We're still at speed. Dylan Menditto with the number 29 car moves in to take over the runner-up spot with the 16 car for Todd Douillard in the third spot, and we've got a yellow.
And there is a car stranded on the safety road between turns 1 and 2, as it looks like Nick Salva in car number 98 to bring out the first yellow of the race, and that will nullify a big lead that was torn open by Glenn Griswold. He was leading by a landing strip, but now it's Dylan Menditto, and those two guys battled a lot last year. Todd Douillard, much improved over a year ago, and you can always count on Jay Goff, 58 years old, and you talk to him in the paddock, and he always parks in the same spot, and it's not superstition that he parks where he does. He likes to be right near the gate so he can talk to all his friends.
Yes, And, of course, that was the spot that Willie Hardy always parked at. And, of course, being from Stafford Springs, Connecticut in those days, same kind of a color combination, 7, black car, neon, yellow and green on the race cars as well. Very nice guy, very popular guy.
And his grandson races Monday nights in Wild Thing Karts, made his debut at the end of 2013.
Well, it looks like we're going to be crossing the field over. Josh Manfredo on the starter stand now. And
Boy,
Glenn Griswold
got off to really a dynamic start. He looked like he was a Cape Canaveral.
Sure was. He was very, very quick. And then the number 29 car, Dylan Menditto, started in the 6th spot and in 2 circuits, challenging on the outside. Todd Douillard came on very strong in Sizzler weekend, and he really upped his game 100% since a year ago, feeling a lot more confident and starting to show some of that confidence.
Watch the rear of the field, too, because Nick Salva looks like he is very feisty.
Green flag is out. Ripple effect further back in the field as now Douillard up to the 3rd spot. Doing a good job. Dulac down low on the inside. And now among the movers and shakers is the 54 car. David Burnham. Didn't take him long to get used to the open wheels. He's in the top 5. 3 wide match.
And let's see what happens, as it looks like everybody is going to make it through as they ganged up that time on Rit Dulac, and he was squeezed backwards. A good move by Jeremy Sorel in car number 77 to survive that 3 wide scenario.
And also as strong, Richard Dyer, the 01 car.
That car was in hibernation until Wednesday when his buddy Jim Mavlouganes said, you should be out here racing. And it looks like that number 01 car has some power.
Sure does, as he is coming to the front of the field. Burnham is the next target. All of a sudden, Bob Charland is racing. Heartbreaker for Ferrigno. He's out of this one. Back to the front of the class.
Well, Samantha Thompson has finished her ride in the 2-seater with Bob Potter, so she is on the sidelines, and the man in the spotlight is Glenn Griswold. Dylan Menditto is not very far away.
Meanwhile, here comes Burnham. Oliver Douillard backs it up just a bit.
He was caught between a rock and a hard place, wasn't he?
Yep.
But he was able to keep it going.
Richard Dyer is in there. Here comes Charland again.
Boy, the Shark does not give up.
And here comes Nick Salva. Just as we predicted, he is not to be left out of this one.
You could see the determination in Nick Salva when this race restarted, that he wasn't going to stay in the back of the pack for very long. Now he's trying to get to the outside of Sorel in car number 77.
Look at Charland. Oh, car number 01. Goes spinning Richard Dyer. He's okay. We're still at speed. Battle is on for 4th. Douillard giving him a run for the money. Burnham is there. Charland is there. And Charland's one of the only cars with Nick Salva to go to the outside. Look at Burnham now. He's making the bid. Thinks twice of it. Here comes Charland. Back up front. 1st and 2nd. Bump drafting down the front straightaway, Matt.
Boy, second half of the race, here is DJ Burnham. It's hard to believe this is only the 2nd time he has ever driven in an open wheel car. Swinging far to the outside and almost making contact with the safer barrier with Bob Charland. So a hiccup that time for the number 1.
Off the turn, back to the line, and Burnham still holds on.
Well,
And
we'll
now,
look at the front. The top 3 cars could fit inside an Easter egg. Menditto is massaging the back bumper of the Glenn Griswold car.
Griswold still holds on. Here comes the bid also right there, the 07 car for Jay Goff. 1 slip up and Goff will be there. Meanwhile, here comes Burnham. Bold move, Nick Salva. Pushes him through. Inside lane looking racy. And here comes the 77, Jeremy Sorel.
Boy, this is a two-ring circus. In ring number 1, the battle between Griswold and Menditto. Menditto has some power. Griswold is able to hold him off.
Yellow flag comes out as we've got 2 cars. The Douillard machine, after running so strong.
I think DJ is the other guy who is up against the barrier. No, it's not. But as we told you, we had a ride in a 2-seater, Samantha Thompson. And Samantha is out and getting ready to talk to Connor Sullivan.
All right, guys, here with the lucky rider, Samantha Thompson. Samantha, how'd you enjoy it?
It was fun. Now I see why my boyfriend likes it so much.
Is this your first time at Stafford?
No, it's not, actually.
How many times have you been here?
All the time.
So, definitely an interesting perspective considering between the stands and being in the car.
It's a lot different. I think I like it out here better than I like it up there.
All right, that's the words from down here on pit road. We'll send it back to the tower.
Well, Glenn Griswold and Darren Menditto were really hooked up in a battle when that yellow came out. And it looked like Menditto had some room on the bottom to boogie underneath Griswold, but they don't call him the old warhorse for nothing. As we said during the heat race, one of the great stories of the early season is that Glenn Griswold wasn't going to race. He was here. He had to get his car going. Made a deal with Don Wood of Rad Auto Machine. Got his credit card out. Got an engine an hour and a half before they were going to start the race. He was ready to go. And it's tough to keep the old warhorse out of the barn. So it's Griswold followed by Menditto. And Jay Goff having a great run. We can't overlook him. He is in third, followed by DJ Burnham. And Nicholas Salva, who on the last restart was at the rear of the field. He has made some pretty good upward mobility to get into the top 5. So Joey Ferrigno was one of the early casualties of this race, and he's standing by with Kelly.
Joey, what happened out there?
They got crossed up in front of me. I went down the grass to try and avoid it after this thing got torn up last week. I just didn't want to get involved in another one, and there's a white car spinning through the grass that had absolutely nowhere to go. It just sucks real bad. I mean, the amount of work that went into this car over the winter and then destroying it 2 weeks in a row. I mean, I wouldn't be here without Gino at RH2 and George, and thanks for help, everybody. Paul French, my whole crew. See what we can do about getting some money together and being back next week.
Thank you very much.
Well, Paul French is down there joining his buddy, not in a place that he wanted to be. Both of those cars out of contention here as well. 7 circuits to go. Get ready. Hang on to the edge of your seats. It's not over with yet. Griswold has looked strong, but will he be able to hold on? Menditto right there. Burnham on the outside of the second row, and there's Goff. Goff moves to the inside. Glenn Griswold fighting to hold on to that lead, and they are all stacked up. Look at Nick Salva, Matt.
Contact with the 07, but he survives it. Top 5 cars could fit on an aspirin tablet, with Griswold in the lead being challenged by Menditto.
They come off the turn. Menditto winds it up tight, but Griswold still holds it on as the leader of the pack. Here comes Salva again. Look at Burnham into that mix as well.
Boy, Nick Salva has come from the Bureau of Missing Persons into 4th place as he is going down low, making a cannonball move.
Tyler Hines got crossed up. He lost 5 positions in just a little slip up the racetrack. Here comes Menditto on the outside. Can't do it. Pulls back into line. Bump traffic. He's going to go to the outside again.
Griswold hugging the white line. Here comes Menditto, looking for a crack, looking for an alley. He might have one as they go into turn 3.
Menditto dives to the bottom. Griswold makes him work for it. Here comes Salva. Trouble now. Menditto and Goff. They hit it a ton off turn number 4, and Salva goes spinning. A wild chain of events in turn number 4.
It looked like there was contact between Salva and Menditto, and the man who was in the wrong place at the wrong time has smoke coming out of his car on the front straightaway, Jay Goff.
heartbreaking situation for the 29 car of Dylan Menditto. Hits at a ton, exploding into the Armco barrier off turn number 4. And then Jay Goff for the second week in a row. And you can see the severe damage done to the front end of that race car. And Nick Salva, who came from the back of the pack, now that car set steaming in the center of the infield as Nick dejectedly walks away.
Boy, this really changes the scoreboard with second, third, and fourth out of commission for the time being. That elevates, well, our scoreboard shows DJ Burnham in second place. Jeremy Sorel, only his second race ever at Stafford, in the number 3 spot. And in fourth is that one car of the Shark, Bob Charland. And remember, there was one time when Bob Charland almost ran into the pit bleachers. And somehow, Bob Charland this year, he does not give up. He has had peaks and valleys in every race, and he has somehow managed to get pretty good finishes, and he is close to getting another one tonight. But we still have 2 miles to go, and it is going to be a rambunctious 2 miles.
So, again, it looks like we are getting much closer, and we salute our safety services crew for doing such an outstanding job.
I'm glad I never got gear lube on my kitchen floor, because I would be in trouble. I think my Swift jet would not be able to handle it.
So,
but it looks like we're just about ready to go, and then it will be Glenn Griswold in the pressure cooker. He'll be surrounded by DJ Burnham and a guy, 2 guys in their second open wheel race at Stafford. It's amazing how well they have adapted to this. Now, last week's winner, Tyler Hines, currently 13th. So he had trouble early on. It has not been a factor, and he's better than 13th now. As because of the yellow, I believe he's climbed up to 9th.
He certainly has, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's simple as it was. Tyler is a very talented, athletic young man. Another shout-out we have to give is to the number 3 car, because last week he really turned some heads, leading a lot of the laps in the event. And Jeff Beaujolais started in the 15th spot tonight, and he's up among the top 6 cars, and we've got 4 laps to go. 2 miles, and the green is out, and Burnham is giving the old warhorse a run for the money in contention for the lead.
He was laminated to the back bumper, taking off on the outside. This is very difficult to do, making a pass for the lead on the outside. DJ Burnham, that right foot must weigh about 3 tons.
He heads down into turn number 1. The farmer looks to plant himself into the number 1 spot. Griswold fights back on the inside. Burnham, rookie competitor, first Friday night program, and he is going for the gusto.
2 laps to go. Griswold with the advantage. Here comes Burnham on the outside as he burns his way into turn number 2. Griswold has the advantage. Burnham not far away. Also a factor is a Shark. Bob Charland running in 3rd.
Charland now reels in closer. They come off turn number 4. Griswold, white flag is out. No surrendering in this one. Final time to turn number 1. Griswold tries to fight off the aggressive charge that follows. Griswold strings it out. Burnham reels him in. Look at Charland, still battling for that 3rd position as they come off the turn. Checkered flag is out, and it will be Glenn Griswold to take down the victory. Great run for Burnham to finish in the runner-up spot. And unofficially in the 3rd position, Jeremy Sorel from 14th, and Bob Charland will finish just off the podium in 4th. Tyler Hines will finish in 5th. Jeff Beaujolais in the 6th spot. And rounding out the top 7, it is Richard Dyer.
Wesley Prucker, 8th place. Rick Dulac, 9th. Rich Heyman, 10th. Christopher Gombos, only his second Stafford race, finishing in 11th. And then Dylan Menditto will have to settle for 12th.
Then it's Jay Goff for 13th, Nick Salva to finish in the 14th spot. Stephen Kopcik will finish in the 15th position.
Then Todd Douillard, 16th. Branden, Dion, 17th. Podium Paul French, 18th. Joey Ferrigno in 18th. And one observation, though, Tyler Hines finishing in 5th. I think that's almost like a win for him because he looked like he was out of it after a couple laps, that he was able to recover for a top 5. Good driving.
So now we will shift our attention to Napa Auto Parts Victory Lane in just a moment as we'll wait for our drivers to get out of their race cars. As Glenn Griswold still strapped in at this point. And we head down to Connor Sullivan in Napa Victory Lane. Connor?
The old warhorse, he's far from gone. For the first time in almost 7 years, Glenn Griswold back in Victory Lane here at Stafford Motor Speedway after a barn burner. Gets a big handshake from DJ Burnham. Glenn, talk about it.
Well, I just got to say thanks to everybody in the crew. Donnie from Rad Automotive putting a great motor together. Good friend of mine, Carlos Gray. This is his motor that's coming out in a few weeks. So I proved to him that his motor can win the race. We thrashed last week. We got the motor at 3 o'clock. Got back to my house at 4 and we made the feature. A lot of hard work this week. The car was really good in the beginning of the night. But then the thing loosened up really fierce in the feature. And I don't know what happened here behind me. The 29 car was waving his hands all over the place. I think I gave him room. I don't know what I did, but that's racing. Want to thank all my sponsors. Got to thank Precision Mechanical, Mark, for stepping up to the plate, coming up with some tires for this thing. We got Connecticut Dry Shaft helps out, G&R Motorsports, Rodden Building. Got to thank the car owner back there, Scott Kimmer. He always tells me I never give him any credit, but follow the green bus to the party after the races.
Glenn, congratulations. Let's go to Kelly.
All right, I'm here with DJ Burnham. Congratulations on second. Who would you like to thank?
Thank you. I really got to thank my brother and my dad. They really worked their butts off on this thing. We were really bad in practice, and actually since last weekend and racing in the rain last week, I didn't really learn anything. And it was a lot of fun going out here and running door to door with Glenn here. I thought I had him on the outside, but I just got a little too tight. I got to thank Ricky from R&R, Mike from Magnus, Donnie Wood from Rad, Mike Paquette from CD Chassis. And really just my dad, my brother, my mom, my grandma, everybody. There's a lot of hard work in this car, and we struggled to make it fast, but it was going pretty good at the end. I'm excited.
Thank you. All right, Jeremy Sorel, what a finish. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, it was a great race. First off, my parents, they helped me out tremendously. Lenny, my girlfriend Jordan, all my family just supports me all the way through this, and I'm just so happy to have them as my family. I couldn't ask for a better one, and they're the reason why I'm finished third tonight.
Thanks a lot.